Welcome back to my KEEPUP channel. Why Tom Cruise may view his daughter Suri as a potential trouble source. Amid rumors the pair haven't spoken in 12 years, Alison Boshoff reveals the very strange world of Scientology and why its rules could be blamed for extraordinary rift. His is one of the most recognizable smiles on the planet, not to mention that defined jawline and striking profile. So when Tom Cruise's daughter, Suri, stepped out last weekend in New York on her 18th birthday, it was truly surprising to see just how much she looked like her famous father. Yet while his daughter with actress Katie Holmes celebrated, her A-list father was 3,500 miles away, filming in London. You might imagine most fathers would endeavor to mark such a landmark date in person with their daughter. But the last time Cruise was pictured in Suri's company was nearly 12 years ago, in July 2012, when she was just 6. It was a tumultuous time. He had just settled his divorce to Holmes and was enjoying a custody visit to Disney World, Florida. Suri, dressed as the Little Mermaid, clutched her father's hand. Many people, some of them Cruise's former friends, claim he hasn't seen his daughter in person since then. Could this possibly be true? The question of what sort of relationship Cruise has with Suri. He also has 2 older children, Bella and Connor, adopted during his marriage to Nicole Kidman, is a riddle wrapped in an enigma and there is no clear answer. Calls and emails to Amanda Lundberg, his publicist, and to his lawyer, asking whether he has seen Suri, go unanswered. It's all the more perplexing because Cruise was so effusive about the importance of spending time with his daughter. Just think back to the 22-page portfolio in Vanity Fair in 2006, which pictured Suri for the first time. I always said to myself that my children would be able to depend on me, and I would always be there for them and love them, a proud Cruise told the magazine. Now, though, that pride seems a world away, and the sweet bond between father and daughter looks to be ancient history. Last summer a source close to the actor told this newspaper he kept in touch with his daughter via Zoom and phone calls, and denied they were estranged. Yet others doubt this, and cite Scientology, the controversial religion followed by Cruise, as the possible cause of any schism. When she was married to Cruise, Holmes received instruction in Scientology, and Suri was to have been raised a Scientologist. However, after their split, she returned to her Roman Catholic faith and was said to be keen to get Suri away from Scientology. Fascinatingly, there's some question over whether the divide between Cruise and Suri is down to Holmes being protective of her daughter, or Cruise cutting her off at the behest of his religion. Indeed, Scientology is infamous for discouraging believers from maintaining relationships with those outside the religion and has been routinely blamed for estranging its devotees from non-believers, some of whom they dub suppressive persons. Former leading Scientologist Karen de la Carrière, once married to the religion's president, tells me she's sure Scientology is at the root of the rift. She said, Katie was deemed a suppressive person and Suri, by extension, potential trouble source. Tom cannot engage or connect with his own daughter. In Scientology, it is Scientology first, family priorities come low down in the order. Brendan Ty, who worked in Cruise's security detail and was a Scientologist, told me this week, basically when it comes to Scientology thinking, there is a disconnection policy. When it's applied rigorously, there is no room for emotion. So long as Suri sides with her mom, there will be no contact with her dad. Mike Rinder, once Scientology's number 3, knew Cruise and his family firsthand for years. Since leaving the religion, he has spoken out against it, and recently published an autobiography A Billion Years. Rinder tells me his own oldest children, who remain believers, will not speak to him because he has left the religion. He says he is sure this is the reason for the apparent breakdown between Cruise and Suri. Because Katie took the lead in getting the divorce, springing a surprise on the most well-known Scientologist on earth, she committed a suppressive act. Thus, Tom could not be connected to her, he says. Would this not trouble Cruise? Rinder says not, adding, Scientologists believe everyone is a spiritual being who lives many lifetimes. The being that is your mother this lifetime could have been your daughter in a previous life, and this diminishes the importance of familial ties. Cruise might take issue with this, not least because it all comes from ex-Scientologists who bear animus towards his religion. A Scientology spokesman did not respond to a request to discuss any specifics of what the situation might be between Suri and Cruise. However, the church has said in the past that it never orders followers to disconnect from anyone, and the practice does not have anything to do with former members or people who are critical of the church. Yet it is certain that the happy family future which Cruz pictured for himself, Suri and her older siblings, who remain Scientologists, has not transpired. Indeed, some say a similar dynamic can be seen after Cruz's divorce from Nicole Kidman, who no longer follows Scientology, and has seen very little of their children, Bella, 31, and Connor, now 29, since then. Before her parents' divorce, Suri was pictured incessantly, almost always being held by her father. And then, as soon as the split was announced in 2012, that ended. Holmes moved to New York and took pains to keep her child out of the public eye. The issue of Suri's relationship with her father became explosively public in September 2013, when Cruz took legal action against 2 magazines, which said he had abandoned his daughter. The lawsuit was settled out of court, and it was clear Cruz angrily resented the allegation. During a deposition, he admitted he had not seen the then 6-year-old for 110 days over the previous summer, right after the divorce. He said he and Suri instead kept in touch by phone, as he was busy with filming. "I tell wonderful stories. I've gotten pretty good at communicating." He added that arrangements with Holmes were complicated. He said, "Listen, when there is a divorce, it's more complicated. Things change." He added, "Certainly what doesn't change is the love I have for my daughter, and the fact I didn't abandon her emotionally, physically, or otherwise." One can only hope he would say the same today. Source: dailymail.co.uk. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Confused about his sexuality, he flatters Martha, played by actress Jessica Gunning in the show, and flirts with her in a bid to impress his laddish colleagues. In one exchange, Donnie tells Martha how young she looks and says, "Peter Pan needs his moisturizer back." The woman, meanwhile, recalls the comedian remarking how young she looked for her age, 47 at the time. He said, "What moisturizer do you use?" "I said, oil of uli, slapped on," she told the Mail. Another key clue to her identity is referenced early on in Baby Reindeer, when Donnie cracks a crude joke across the bar about helping Martha to hang her curtains at home, similar to a tweet once sent by the woman to Gad. Speaking to the Mail, the woman also referenced the curtain innuendo when she recalled her early encounters with Gad in the Holly Arms. He said, "Can I fix your curtains?" "That's a euphemism for saying I want to sleep with you," she claimed. But she disputed some elements of the drama. On the TV show, Martha gives Donnie the nickname Baby Reindeer because, she says, he reminds her of a cuddly toy reindeer she had as a child with big lips, huge eyes, and the cutest wee bum. But the woman claimed, "I've never owned a toy baby reindeer and I wouldn't have had any conversation with Richard Gad about a childhood toy either." For viewers caught up in this moral muddle, it is gripping viewing. The Netflix series is based on Gad's 2019 Edinburgh Fringe one-man theatre show of the same name, which was a sellout hit, with the comedian claiming that it felt like it was actively mending me. Yet Gad's experiences with a stalker weren't the first time he had mined the depths of his private life for stand-up material. Baby Reindeer also incorporates a real-life experience from earlier in his career, which Gad turned into his 2016 Edinburgh Fringe show, Monkey See Monkey Do. This saw him deliver a hugely personal and harrowing account, while running on a treadmill, of being raped by a manipulative older man. Described by The Telegraph as a show that sucks you into a very troubled mind and comedy as personal catharsis taken to a whole new level, it won Gad that year's Edinburgh Comedy Award and later transferred to the Soho Theatre in London for an 8-week run. But while his career was finally on the ascent, behind the scenes Gad's life was being made a misery by his stalker. "It felt like I'd expunged the demons of one person who had caused me so much grief, only so that she could take center stage in his place. It felt so awfully ironic," he said in an interview with The Guardian in 2019 to publicize his Baby Reindeer stage show. While he acknowledged that the show might provoke his stalker, he said it was a risk worth taking, a last roll of the dice to shine a spotlight on stalking. He also insisted that it was about highlighting that harassers needed more care than punishment. "She needs help," he said at the time, "but she's not getting any. So her instability would come down the phone at me every day." In an interview to publicize the new Netflix series, Gad assured The Times last week that the stalking issue was resolved. But the woman in question, who denied being a stalker when it was put to her by the Mail, said, "Richard Gadd has got main character syndrome. He always thinks he's at the center of things. I'm not writing shows about him or promoting them in the media, am I? If he wanted me to be properly anonymous, he could have done so. Gadd should leave me alone." She said she is considering taking legal action against him. She is certainly not the only one to have been caught up in the fallout from the show. Several online sleuths have wrongly identified 59-year-old theater director Sean Foley as Gadd's rapist, who is named Darian O'Connor in the show and played by actor Tom Goodman-Hill. Comments have been made about the physical likeness between Foley and Goodman-Hill. Foley's announcement last week that he was stepping down from his role as creative director at Birmingham Rep fanned the flames further. The director, a double Olivier Award winner, revealed on X that police officers were investigating all defamatory, abusive and threatening posts against me. Gadd has now begged viewers to stop trying to figure out the truth about Baby Reindeer, writing on Instagram, "Please don't speculate on who any of the real-life people could be. That's not the point of our show." Ultimately, the real-life storm of controversy unleashed by Baby Reindeer is part and parcel of its ongoing success. Despite his plea to viewers to stop being so curious, Gadd must undoubtedly be aware of this. So one wonders how such a deft storyteller could not have foreseen the Netflix effect which amplifies the fallout that comes from blurring fact and fiction. Source: dailymail.co.uk. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.